Welcome to the V12 podcast. V12.
What's up, y'all? Y'all now tuned to the V12 podcast. I am your host, Prince Mazzani. I'm here with Skinny the Dawn and Bird Daddy.
See what's happening.
We got a special guest today. She go by the name of Michelle Edwards. How you doing?
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
We'll be doing all right eventually, man. You're the first woman that we've had on the podcast. We've done about 4 or 5 of these introductions as of right now, and we got this one going, but I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me.
Michelle Edwards. I heard, so you the queen of the city.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
Well, I wouldn't consider myself the queen of the city.
You wouldn't consider
I just been around for a while, that's all.
I mean, so what your credentials is?
Well, I own Legacy Caribbean Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that Jamaican shit.
Yes, off of O'Neill Court. And I also own Epic Events off Bush River Road.
Oh, I've been in there.
I've been through a couple of events out there. It's real nice up in there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, so you getting that money like that? Yeah, because them
I'm trying to get the money.
Them oxtails ain't cheap.
No, you right, they're not.
Damn, you bad as a motherfucker. Hey, let me sit right here.
Go ahead, do your thing, man.
No, I'm happily married now. I just want to get closer to this money right here. Michelle Edwards, the queen of the city.
All
right, let's get this here interview started.
Let's go.
So let me ask you a question real quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
The word boss chick gets thrown around all the time, but as the owner of Legacy, which at this point is kind of a staple in the city, and you know, the Epic Event Center, and whatever other various things that you have going on, what does it really mean to be a boss chick?
Well, you know, it's a title that, like you said, does get thrown around a lot.
Because if you ain't owning nothing, you ain't a boss chick.
Well, you know, it all depends on what people consider being a boss. You know what I mean? You could be just a mom and be a boss chick. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, it comes with a lot of responsibility. You know, because I'm not just responsible for myself or my twins. I've got about 50 employees that work for me. Yeah, 6-year-old twins.
I got twins too. Twin girls.
I've got one of each.
Okay.
2 little terrorists.
Yeah, mine are identical. They're terrorists as well. And they're girls, so they got equal halves of my heart.
Oh,
Mine might as well be twins.
They're that close?
Yeah, 5 and 7.
Okay, you might be 7 next month.
Oh, man. So, I mean, so Legacy, I kind of want to start there because Legacy is a spot that I've been to several times. Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, when I look at the sign, it says Mobay's Legacy.
That's correct.
And I've always wanted to ask, so that is like, is that Mobay's 2? Is it Mobay's the sequel? Like,
it's Mobay's Legacy because it all started 15 years ago with Mobay on Park Lane.
And I used to go in there.
You remember that? Yeah.
All the time.
And so we're about to celebrate. Legacy is about to celebrate its 7 years next month.
Dang,
so
we're
preparing for that.
7 years already?
Oh yeah. So yeah. So you know, I'm a firm believer, and you can never forget where you came from.
Right.
And you know, it all started in that little building on Park Lane Road.
Wow.
And so, you know, we've been around, like I said, almost 15 years, but 7 at Legacy itself.
Right.
So.
Mazzani, were you here when Mobay's was lit?
Nah, I came in 2013.
Okay.
Shoot, to me it always been lit.
It probably was lit, but I wasn't here.
But I remember when it was
I'm
over there on Park.
Before Mobay's.
Yeah, before it was
that's
over
what I
here.
mean.
Yeah.
Like Legacy is lit now, but
Yeah.
before
I
Legacy,
remember that,
when it was on Park Lane,
Yeah.
it was just it became a staple. It was like a staple.
It was.
That was the go-to for Jamaican.
Yeah.
Cuisine.
And it was late night.
And it was a late night spot.
Yeah.
Right. I used to love it, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
so are you Jamaican?
No.
You not? Okay. What made you get into like the Jamaican cuisine?
Well, my kid's father,
Jamaican.
he's from Trinidad.
Okay, word.
And
Shout out to Trinis.
and that's how it all started.
Okay.
That's my oxtails, and you was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I tasted his food the first time I'd ever eaten oxtail was when he cooked it. I was like, dang, this is good.
Really
that was the first time?
You know, and I was like, yeah.
That's some high-end eating right there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah, that ain't no shit you just fuck up
Start
in the
doing
pot.
your own thing.
Right,
And it just went from there.
But speaking of what Bird Daddy was saying as far as like being a boss chick, like are you familiar with what's going on with this here chick, like the trucking guru?
No.
the trucking guru was saying like she basically was a boss chick and she was a trucking guru. Said she owned like over 140,000 trucks, 140 trucks, and she teaches people how to make $1 million on trucks. But come to find out, a YouTuber made a video about it, and she was a fraud. But she had to went around and got all these accolades and stuff like that. And so, but when you was speaking about being a boss chick, and it doesn't necessarily mean owning something. It's just, like a persona that you carry. You don't necessarily have to own nothing to be a boss chick. But she was proclaiming like she was a boss chick, but she was scamming.
Well, I mean, that was shady. She found a way to make some money.
Yeah, get it how you live.
She was, I mean, I don't knock anybody's
Get it how you
hustle,
live.
but I'm a firm believer in what's known doesn't have to be explained.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how many commercials do we see of like a Bentley on TV?
None.
We don't see any, but
None.
we know what a Bentley represents.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So, and I feel like a lot of times people are so busy, whether it's on the internet or on podcasts or whatever, trying to basically put themselves out there and explain themselves. Like, you don't have to do that. You know, like if you are a boss, you're a boss.
Right.
I believe we shouldn't change the definitions of things like boss or baddie to fit the people who really aren't that. And that's what I think. That's why I say you got to own something if you a boss.
Yeah.
Because you can have a job and answer to a boss, but have a mentality like I want to be a boss. That don't make you a boss chick unless you have to change the definition. Same thing with baddie. You got the shows out, baddies and this and that and the third, and I'm not gonna bash anybody's appearance, but objectively speaking, there are people on that show that we wouldn't consider to be baddies.
But in their mind, they're baddies.
So you got to change the definition of what that means just in order to make it fit the people who want to be called that. And that's why I would consider you to be what the standard of a boss chick is, because you actually have ownership and you're actually doing something. And I did want to know, like, what motivates you to keep going and keep expanding?
My kids, the people, I like to call them like my staff, my family. I mean, I don't know how to just stop. Like, you just got to keep going. You can't get complacent, because the minute you get complacent, things may slow down for you. I just, while I can, I want to keep going. Just keep doing what I can do. That's right. Kids ain't cheap.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Where did the name Legacy come from?
Because my LLC is Twins Legacy. And then I just thought that would be, so that's the LLC is Twins Legacy. And then I was like, since it all started with Mobay, that's why it's Mobay's Legacy.
You had the spot over here too, Pond River, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's the river now. Is that still you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I closed that down in September.
What happened to it? Why did it close down?
Well, there's a lot going on with the eminent domain project, and they're going to tear all the parking spaces out of the front, tear my sign down. You won't be able to enter through the front anymore. You've got to go down Marley Drive.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of business.
And I'm already sharing the parking lot with the Murphys, so it was,
too much.
Yeah, it was too much, and the rent was too high to be having to do all that.
I was glad when y'all moved over here because it saved me a trip.
Yeah.
I was in there a few times, man. I caught Guinness. Guinness is a personal friend of mine.
Okay.
And he used to spin my records at Mobay's.
Uh-huh.
He actually spun a song I had called "The Last Song," and that would be the last song that he spun of the night for like 2 years at anytime he did Mobay's.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So when I came to Pond the River, I didn't know it was your spot, but definitely had them same type of vibe. So do you ever think you're gonna put something else back over on the riverside, or?
No, not right now. I think between, legacy and the event hall, and being a mom, my daddy always said it's better to do 2 things right than 3 things wrong.
Right.
And so I'm trying to, focus on that right now and see where that goes.
Well, with the nightlife and just like spots that pop in and out all throughout the city. You got, you'll have a spot that pops up for 6-8 months and it's gone, a year and a half gone. You had Mobay's, I guess that was, your child's father, whoever, and for 5 years, however long you guys had it, and now you're in your 7th year at Legacy. What do you feel like you're doing different that allows you to sustain a spot and not get shut down, whereas everybody else is here today, going tomorrow?
Well, a lot of it has to do with knowing actual business. So, people always say, I want to have my own. I want to do my own. But along with that comes some real responsibilities, and you have to have the knowledge. And that's why when people come to me and they ask me, I'm like, okay, but be sure this is what you want, because I promise you it's not just all glitz and glam.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got taxes, you've got to know, you've got to have insurance, you've got to have this. And I think that that's what happens in a lot of businesses. People just pop up. And when they pop up, after a while, they're doing good, but then here you got the Department of Revenue, you got the Department of Workforce, you've got DHEC, you've got all these other intricate details that people don't know about, and they're not prepared for. So you've got to actually do your homework and do your research before you open up a business, and prepare yourself for, is this something that I want to do? And I tell people all the time, okay, if you've got $50,000 to do a business, it's gonna take almost double that. So you've got to be able to have more money and then still have money to live just in case.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a lot of it too. And a lot of times people just want to open up for a minute. They make a couple of stacks and then that's it. And then they go and turn it into something else somewhere else and start over again.
That sucks for the consumer, because we just looking for a spot to go to.
Yeah.
And now you go there and it's closed.
Yeah.
Most of it be, man, they see your success, but they don't see the grind. So they see that you're successful, so they automatically think that, the blueprint is just to open up a Jamaican spot here, this and that, try to duplicate your vibe, but they're not you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that
so
happens
when
all
it
the time.
fails, it fails, it's like you didn't understand the grind. They wasn't there when you probably had it, when there was only 2-3 people showing up. They just see you when it's packed.
Yeah, they don't know.
What I'm saying? So it's like
I
that,
don't
man.
ever remember a time where Mobay's or Legacy wasn't packed. It's like it seems like y'all jumped out the gate with the blueprint.
Well, but here's the thing. When Mobay started like years ago on Park Lane, there was a different time back in those days too. But, they kind of got a negative connotation of like certain people that hung there. And then, when you start getting a lot of people that hang there and then people start getting in trouble, then people start looking at you and then, so that was one of the reasons too that when I did move it around the corner, I wanted to keep a part of the name, but I didn't want to move it per se, if that makes sense. Because there are people who still call us Mobay.
Yeah.
People who started, and then I'm okay with that.
That's what I was saying.
But I had to make.
It was called Mobay's too.
Well, no, I had Mobay's too on Garner's Ferry. Remember now, I opened that. We had Mobay on Park Lane, then we opened up on Garner's Ferry Road.
Mobay 2.
Mobay 2. We had that, and then I opened up Legacy.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I opened up Ponder River.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. With all of these openings and all of these all of these different spots that you got and all of these moves that you're making, all of this business savvy that you have to be able to sustain business, if there's a gentleman, right, that's trying to court you, can he take you to the Cheesecake Factory?
Well, I'm a simple person. You know what I mean? I'm not, though people may view me as being different, I'm simple, and to me it doesn't really matter where I go. It's just the vibe, you know what I mean? But I don't just talk to anybody, because you've got to, in the state that I'm in, you've got to ask yourself, okay, does this person really want to date me? You know what I mean? Or are they dating me because they feel they're looking at what they think I have?
Right.
And I say think because people can look at who you are and just think, okay, you know what, she drives a nice car, she got nice shoes, okay, she got money. But that doesn't mean anything, because I know a lot of people who drive nice cars and got nice shoes and they don't have no money.
Yeah, I believe they got some money.
I mean, I'm not struggling, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to be comfortable, but I've got a lot of bills too. You know what I mean?
Would you say
how
somebody?
straight his face is saying that he believes you got money.
Yeah, I know money.
Okay. Well, skinny long as you got it figured out. Okay, that's what's up.
Would you date somebody who makes less than what you bring in?
Yeah.
Like you said, if the vibe is there.
Yeah,
Right.
because I'll be honest with you, and I started off bartending. I bartended in a lot of places throughout the city. since I was like 20 years old. So I've been in that, in the nightlife for a long time. And after my kid's father, I was like, you know what? I want somebody ordinary. I don't want anybody that's in the limelight because I know what it does. I know what it does to relationships. And you don't see too many relationships sustain that when you're both in that. Right. So I just like to have somebody that's just a normal person. Like, the guy that I'm with now, he's a truck driver. He's got his own little trucking thing going on. And I'm fine with that because I don't want anybody all out on the scene.
Right.
I just don't. Because I'm not out on the scene like that. If I don't have to work, if it's not a weekend night, you don't really see me because I'm in the back.
Right. And that dynamic works.
Yeah, like I'm not out in the city popping bottles and that's not me. I'm more behind the scenes.
So what's a day-to-day, like, we know you running your business, but like things that you do to enjoy your life, because like you said, you're not in the limelight. What do you do to enjoy yourself and have time and go out?
Like right now I moved, so I'm like decorating my new house. Like
shout out to new house.
Yeah, shout out to that sucker.
Hey, he just keep counting dollars. He just keep going.
But right now, to be honest, like the older I get, like it's more about like family. Like like I enjoy hanging out with my twins. Even though they're a lot. You know what I mean? But it's cute and it's fun, and now it's like I've got to settle down a little bit. I've done everything, you know what I mean? So just get up in the morning, go to the gym, go to work, do whatever it is I have to do, and then, be home before the kids go to bed.
So you be working out and all that?
Yeah.
That's a good
I try to do about 4 days a week.
Okay.
So we was talking about that the current events thing. You familiar with Sexy Red?
I've heard about her, because a lot of people were her for Halloween. They came in the Legacy dressed like her.
What?
So, how do you feel about this here? I think Sexy Red is a plant. And the reason why I say that is because any ratchet stereotype that you could attribute to a black woman is her. She even encourages it. She talks about how she wants men to she has her baby daddies interrupting her interviews. She's keeping her baby daddy now a secret. Just all type of ratchet stuff. She goes out there and does dances on stage, half naked. Then they caught her off. Somebody feel on the butt, and she gets mad. How do you feel? I feel like how back in the day they gave us NWA, and I felt like they was a plan because all the gangster stuff started and people started getting locked up, and I feel like this here is the plan for the black woman coming up, where now they feel like it's okay and acceptable with her and the Sukianas to just get out there and do that. Do you feel like that's an attack on the up and coming, and where do you see it going?
I mean, I don't really feel like it's an attack, because to each its own. You know what I mean? Do I feel like it makes, women look bad? It can. But you can't. But
it's definitely an influence, because you just
no, it is, because right now everything is social media. Like, yeah, they did.
So obviously they adapt in her.
But what they see is, with social media, people see, like, for instance, just like when Cardi B started. Remember, she started off on VH1. She was an up and coming rapper, right. And young girls see that and they try to find something to to cling to give them make them feel better. But I feel like, I can't knock her if that's what she wants to do. But then you can't get mad if you're half dressed, you got your butt in somebody's face, and then they grab it, and then you get upset and feel disrespected because now you put your ass in his face and he just did what he thought he could do. Does it make it right? The Me Too movement would say no. But at the end of the day, you put yourself in that position. So we as women, we have to sit back and think about what we're doing before we do it, if that makes sense.
So let me ask you this. You've got women, mostly on the internet, topics that I see about like single black women, like what they bring to the table. Like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, he had that thing about a high-valued man. But now it's like, what do women bring to the table? And you have a set of women who feel like it's okay just to sit at home, don't do nothing, and really just, be at home, take care of the house, whatever, not working. I feel like they bringing something to the table. What it is them. And it very well might be good for some people, but do you feel like it takes somebody like yourself who has so much going on, or single women like such as yourself and be like, oh, well, you don't need to mess with them, you need to come get us?
You know, I mean, some men may like that. You know, me personally, even before I had kids, I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was never, you know, in me. I always knew that I was always career driven. And, you know, a lot of times people look down on women like me, like, you know, why does she have a nanny? You know what I mean? Like, you know, you should take care of your own kids.
So why wouldn't I?
You know, but...
It's money.
Yeah, he just planted another dollar sign when he said that you had a
That nanny shit.
Well, you gotta think about it. I'm a single. I was a
of
single mom with twins running a business.
Right.
Like, you know, and I have good family support. But you know, people were working. Like, I mean, I've got to make sure my kids are okay.
And you was doing that shit in the 90s.
Yeah, you know, so. So, but I mean, if that's what they want. If women want to stay at home, let them stay at home. If a man wants to take care of a woman, then let him take care of her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and some men might prefer women who do work. But some men prefer women that don't work because they feel like they can control them with their money. And to me, that's how I view it.
So if you
See, I gotta cut in on that because I don't view it that way.
Some men, not all.
I would prefer my woman not work, but it's not about controlling her with my money. It's because the stuff that I need her to do, I can't expect her to do and also hold down a 9-to-5 job.
Man, if my woman ain't working, I'm like, yo, if I don't want no attitude, yeah, I'm like, yo, what you got an attitude for, my nigga? I'm the one working. When I come home, you should be happy. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear about I was snoring last night, nothing like this.
But now, let me just say this, because, you know, I've been around for a minute. I've noticed that there are a lot of men who don't work, who want to keep their asses at home and the women work.
Yeah, I can't.
That's crazy.
I see that a lot, and you know, a lot.
No respect for them dudes.
No, but seriously, like, you know, a lot of, you know, young women work for me that have, you know, men and stuff like that. And a lot of the women, they're the ones that's holding it down.
They accuse me of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they?
But I do work.
Okay, well, that's good.
I
think everybody should
now.
But if it works for you,
Whatever
it works
works
for
for
you,
you,
and they
works for
don't
you,
work,
right.
then that's fine. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I like missing my kids.
Right.
If that makes sense. So when I, you know, because, you know, when you're around your kids all the time, and you got to give your hats off to moms, because being a mom is a hard job.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and if
Shout out
you're
to
around
all the
them
moms.
all
Shout
day,
out.
you know, that's a lot on anybody, on your mental. You know, especially if you've got multiples.
And that's why I say if you are a woman who's a mother at the house and all of this and that and the third, and you're doing this and that for your children, and you have to be this for your man, you can't also have to, you know, be able to give 100% at a job.
Yeah, something's gonna suffer.
Something's gonna suffer.
You're right.
And because I know she's not gonna suffer on the kid side.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's working and she's, you know, got her mind to focus, she's not gonna suffer on the job side either. So the only thing left to lack would be what I need from her, which is why I say I don't want my woman to work.
But do you think? But do you think that that's selfish on your part, though?
I mean, it may be selfish, but I mean, is it selfish to want
Because
what you want?
everything you've just mentioned was, okay, the children, all right, and you. But what about her?
What she want.
A lot of times, work is where women release. You know how many people have that work that are happy when they come to work? Because that's their getaway.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So I think, to me, I mean, and if it works for you and your wife, then that's great.
Would you hinder it?
But
No, I wouldn't hinder her.
where
No.
does she come in?
Yeah,
In this equation, because children, you got the children, you got the man. Okay? But what about what she wants?
She should come first.
Correct. At some point, she has to matter too, just like you have to matter.
Well, let me clarify. It's not that I don't want her to work. I don't want her to feel like she has to work to take care of our household financially.
Okay.
I don't want her to feel like that's a part of her pressures.
Okay.
Her pressure should be, you know, the kids, take care of the house, and, you know, make sure her man feel. She shouldn't have to worry about, oh, if I don't get this money, then our financial household is gonna suffer. If she want to work, go ahead. But if she's overwhelmed one day and says, "Hey, I'm about to quit," she shouldn't have to worry about having a conversation with me like, "Hey, I'm about to quit. Are we gonna be financially okay?" That's what I mean by that. I don't want her to feel like she has to work.
You don't want, you know what I'm saying, her to catch you down bad. Then it's a Joe Smith situation. You know what I'm saying? But before we get up out of here though, so you're pretty successful. Now we gotta break this here down before we get into it.
Okay, let's break it down.
So you're pretty successful. You done had a nanny since the 90s.
No, I had a nanny since they were born.
Okay, when black folks, you know, if a black person got a nanny, then they got a little bit of money. And then you drive a nice car, you got 2 successful businesses. You basically, if you don't want to say you're the queen of Colombia, you definitely the Jamaican queen of Colombia.
I'm the queen of jerk.
You serve the highest price meats in the city, and you always pack. So we know you're working with a little bit of money. So I just said that to say this, that your truck driver man, your friend, and don't mess up, man, because there's a whole lot of niggas who want to eat oxtails every night. So we definitely appreciate you coming on here.
I appreciate you guys having me.
We definitely do, man. I appreciate you for coming to talk to us.
Can I be like an ambassador for Legacy Mobay?
Man, you about to get this woman in trouble when she
No, I just want to be an
video
ambassador because I want something off my plate.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, for anybody watching this who may not know where they can get some of that good cuisine or if they're trying to get they got a wedding or you know whatever they're trying to do and need an event center, let them know where they can come see you at.
Legacy's at 215 O'Neill Court, and that's 29223. And Epic Events is at 125 Outlet Point Boulevard, 29210.
And that is right here in Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, we appreciate you, Miss.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on the show. You got a social media? I know you said you wasn't on the internet like that, but do you got a social media?
Legacy, Caribbean Legacy, and then Epic Events.
Let her hand go.
Hey, you know I got a Hellcat.
Okay.
Alright, y'all, that's our time. Thank y'all for tuning in to V12 Podcast. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, Prince Posadi, Bird Daddy, Mrs. Skinny, Michelle Edwards.
Peace out.
Michelle Edwards, make sure you go eat out there.
V12 Studios, the pros. We are the city. V12 the label.